what makes the difference is the approach, how to use these books, how to use these materials effectively to prepare for history optional. Keep the syllabus in front of you and always stick to the topic and subtopic mentioned in the syllabus. That will enable you to stick to the demand of the question. So it will save your time, it will save your energy. Hello everyone. So now we are going to discuss about the major source materials to prepare for history optional. As we had in the last video, we had discussed about the strategy and the importance and popularity of the subject. Coming to the list of sources and books to be referred to prepare history optional. First of all, we need to discuss that history optional is divided into two papers. Paper 1 comprising of ancient and medieval India, and paper 2 comprising of modern India and world history. Clear? Coming to paper 1, that is ancient and medieval India. First of all, looking into the trend of the question, the first thing to be prepared in ancient India is the map entries, because you will get one compulsory question from map entries of 50 marks. Clear? 20 sites are to be identified and short descriptive notes are to be written. Clear? For that material, obviously you will be referring to sites when you prepare from NCERTs and IGNOU booklets, but at the same time, there's one material which is totally concerned with map entries, and that mentions about all the prominent sites with proper categorization along with detailed descriptive notes. That book is Map Entries for History Optional, edited or published by GK Publication. Go through that book. That will really help you to prepare for map entries, because all the map entries has been given in the grid format. Clear? That enables you to segregate the sites according to grid and to identify the sites with much more ease in the examination room. So always prepare the map entries with grid pattern, and that grid pattern has been clearly explained in that book, that is Map Entries for History Optional. This is one major source to be prepared. Now coming to other sources. Clear? In ancient India, the first topic is on sources like archaeological sources, epigraphical sources, literary sources, foreign accounts and other sources. Clear? For that topic, you need to prepare from IGNOU booklets that mentions about these sources, and also there's a book written on historiography by Romila Thapar. You can refer to that book to prepare for historiography, and the topics thereafter followed is the proto-historical phase, prehistorical phase, then proto-historical phase like Indus Valley, then Rig Vedic phase, Vedic culture, period of Mahajanpas, Buddhism, Jainism. All these topics to be prepared by books like books written by Romila Thapar, that is History of Ancient India, Introduction to Ancient India by D.N. Jha, which is a very book on Gupta Empire. Then at the same time, you can refer to books written by R.S. Sharma, especially related to Indian feudalism and second urbanization. These books are to be done thoroughly. At the same time, you may also refer to the graduation booklets of IGNOU materials, because IGNOU booklets are really well written with conceptual background and clarity to prepare for ancient India. So these are some of the books apart from NCERTs which needs to be done to prepare ancient India thoroughly. Clear? Coming to the second section of paper 1, that is medieval India. It starts with early medieval phase, that is from 750 AD to 1200, and it largely covers Delhi Sultanate. In between we have regional kingdoms like Vijayanagar, Bahmani and Kashmir, and then followed by the Mughal Empire. Clear? In early medieval phase, you need to prepare topics like Chola Empire thoroughly, and for that the best source is the History of South India written by Nilkant Shastri. Clear? Then coming to Delhi Sultanate, the best material available obviously is the History of Delhi Sultanate by Satish Chandra. You can also refer to books written by Professor Muhammad Habib that mentions about the establishment of Delhi Sultanate, especially Khalji revolution in India. Then regional kingdoms, again Vijayanagar, Bahmani. The best sources, the Nilkant Shastri, History of South India. But for Vijayanagar, which is a very important topic for mains examination, you can also refer to Burtonstein, the Vijayanagar Empire. And for Mughals, you can refer to books like Satish Chandra, that is Mughal Empire. And you also should refer Agrarian System of Mughal India by Irfan Habib, because that is the most important authority on agrarian system of Mughal India. These are some of the sources to be prepared for medieval history. Clear? These were the major book lists to be done for paper 1. Coming to paper 2, we have modern India and world history. Clear? Modern India, we have some large or some rather multiple sources to be done because it is based more on interpretation and perspective. In modern India, you can refer to books like Shekhar Bandyopadhyay, Class to Partition. We have Bipan Chandra, History of Modern India. IGNOU booklets, again, they are very well written in modern history, especially the first part of modern India, that is British East India Company. At the same time, you can refer to Sumit Sarkar as well. Then coming to national movement, obviously the books like Bipan Chandra, Sumit Sarkar, and at the same time, the IGNOU materials or IGNOU writers, which mentions about all major national movement, especially the Gandhian phase. And Gandhian phase needs to be done very thoroughly and sensitively because it's quite conceptual in nature. One single concept against Mahatma Gandhi will destroy the whole answer. So just do prepare the topics very well. And I think the best source for Mahatma Gandhi is again Bipan Chandra, the nationalist scholar who has dealt with Mahatma Gandhi with proper justice. Clear. Then we have a topic on post-independent era also. And for that you can refer to Ramchandra Goa, that is India after Gandhi. It's a well-written book. Even Bipan Chandra has written India after independence, which is a quite comprehensive work. But selected chapters of that book must be done like land reforms, reorganization of states. Clear? These were the major book lists on modern Indian history. Coming to world history, clear? Quite scoring in nature. In world history, you need to start with old NCRTs written by Arjun Dev, then followed by books like Ranjan Chakraborty, very important work. L. Mukherjee, even though L. Mukherjee is not in publication these days, but if you can get hold of that work, it's quite a very comprehensive work on world history. Then Norman Loy, Mastering Modern World History. These are some major books to be done in world history. Now, these are the book list which are basically referred by all the candidates, clear? But what makes the difference is the approach, how to use these books, how to use these materials effectively to prepare for history optional. Because if you go with every book from page 1 to page and last page, it will consume huge amount of time and you may not be able to prepare all the topics thoroughly. So you keep the syllabus in front of you and always stick to the topic and subtopic mentioned in the syllabus. That will enable you to stick to the demand of the question. So it will save your time, it will save your energy, so that all the topics mentioned in the books are not to be covered, but only those topics which are mentioned in the syllabus of UPSC examination. Clear? So obviously syllabus should always be there. You should be thorough with the syllabus. That will enable you to segregate the topics properly and then proceed with the topic with proper approach. More importantly, some things are to be taken care of when you read these books. Always try to emphasize on context. Clear? Context plays a very important role in history because until you understand the background behind such historical phenomena, you may not be able to understand the event and its consequences. So first of all, context becomes very important. Apart from context, clear, you also need to look after the conceptual clarity. Some topics like feudalism in India, it needs to be compared with European feudalism, then position of women in Indian society. At the same time, the importance of iron in ancient India. These are conceptual topics, and conceptual topics needs to be done with clarity. And this clarity should be followed throughout the process. Clear? Then at the same time, after contextual clarity, conceptual clarity, then lastly it comes the matter of content. Clear? So for us, content comes last, but first importantly context and concept. And content also, beware, clear? Not the nitty-gritty of facts and figures. Clear? The broader facts and figures with emphasis more on understanding the topic. Clear? So your approach should be to focus more on understanding the phenomena rather than rote learning of the topic. So never go for mentioning facts and figures while preparing notes also when you read these books. Clear? Rather understand the trend, because trend and sequence matters a lot in history rather than rote learning and memorization of facts and figures. Clear? So content comes last. First is context and conceptual clarity, and therefore when you approach these books, make it clear. You will find n number of facts, the myriad facts. Clear? But don't get bogged by those facts and figures. Be very clear in thought that conceptual clarity is required. And at the same time, if you want to know the real trend of UPSC, look into previous year questions also, and with those questions you will come to know what exactly goes in the mind of the examiner when they frame such questions. Clear? Because while they frame such questions, they are always in the point that they want to know about the contextual and conceptual clarity of the candidate rather than mere range of information. Clear? So always keep in mind that sources are same with everyone, but what matters is how they utilize that sources effectively according to the syllabus prescribed by UPSC. And after you do all these exercises, clear, the last and one of the most important exercises, you need to go for sufficient amount of writing practice. Clear? Previous year questions needs to be practiced so that you are able to answer it properly, and if possible, get it evaluated by some expert so as to have proper review and feedback, and then you can go on improvising with every answer. And by the time you go to appear for mains examination, you are in a capacity to write power-packed answers in examination hall to score 300 plus and to be placed among the list of successful candidates in UPSC examination. All the best.